Clemson Athletics. It's been 121 days since your first preseason game this season. Such a journey isn't always possible without a great support staff. I was wondering if you could speak to the value and impact of the people who work behind the scenes for the program and how they play a role in getting to a national championship.
Yeah. The most important people are sitting to your left, because that's the greatest support we have in our families. My technical staff, Phil, Camilo, Malik, and Rob, the experience that we have together is amazing, and the synergy we have together. They cover my weaknesses every day, and this year was probably, I had to rely on them the most of the years that we've been together, because there were a lot of things that went on throughout the course of the year that were difficult, and they're incredible, right? Raz, Mike Bruno, Milt Louder, all of our strength and conditioning people, all of our medical people, Dr. Reeves. It's amazing at Clemson. You know, they say it takes a village, right? And then beyond that, our social media people, our communications people, they're second to none. They're second to none. You can see the work that they do is better than anybody in the country. Better than anybody in the country. And then we have student health too. Aislinn sitting in the back there, right? And our managers. It's an incredible group of people. When I started in this business and started in this job, it was me and an assistant coach. It ain't that way anymore, thank God.
Coach, you guys had a rocky start to the season, dropped out of the preseason polls, and didn't make your way back until mid-October, but you haven't lost since late September. What do you think was the turning point in this season for the team?
Did you go to Clemson, or you live in Clemson? No, that's the expectations of the program. We lost our home opener this year to a UCF team that was ranked #1 in the country for most of the season, or a good portion of the season. And then we outshot a team by 27-3, I think, and tied a game. And you would think that, you know, it was a disaster in Clemson. Fortunately, we kept the guys, like I said, in the present, the precious present. And, you know, they were asking questions too. They were asking questions. There were a lot of new players, 14 new players on the roster. You know, you come to Clemson, the expectation is to win, period. End of discussion, right? And that's hard, right? And that's in all of our programs. So if the expectations are high, they're high for a reason. Matt just talked about the support, the sports staff, and the resources that we get, right? Our athletic director, our sports supervisor, Kyle Young, Ipte. I mean, yeah, the expectations should be high. But it's important for coaches to lead and direct people in the right way. And my staff did a really, really good job of that when there were turbulent waters. And, you know, we got them through that time. And that was just a time where they needed to grow and love each other. And the team was so new and so young that takes time. You know, college soccer, we get 2 weeks of preseason. Are you kidding me? Right? To get to know people. Right? Guys just showing up on your campus. Right? That takes a month, 5, 6 weeks. But once we went through the adversity that we went through, everybody says it's coaching cliche, but it's not cliche, it's true. Adversity makes you stronger. And that strength came from the tough times, right? And I told them before the game tonight, I said, this is a Clint Eastwood movie, fellas. 90 minutes to Nirvana. And we are now in Nirvana.
Coach, I think you're 11-0-1 this season when scoring first, something like 95% in your career. Obviously an advantage to score first, but what's the mentality that you have when you do take an early lead in the game, and how nerve-wracking was that second half when Notre Dame had chance after chance hit the crossbar?
Well, after we go up 1-0, I start praying. And it seems to have worked out pretty well throughout my career. No, it's that's a soccer stat, right? I mean, if you score the opening goal, if you score the second goal in the game, right, chances are they get higher and higher and you can win, right? So we focus on that, right? And we have KPIs that we go through after every game, and one of them is scoring the first 20 minutes of the game, and that's something that we try to do. Another one is be even or ahead at halftime, right? And so it's intentional. And with that intent comes results.
Coach, Warren Stockery, Bussy Media, just to kind of piggyback off that last question, it didn't end up mattering that Notre Dame got that goal right there with 1 minute left in the game, because you won the game, you got the trophy right there. But did you get just a little bit nervous when it gets cut to 2-1, and were you just a tad bummed out that you came this close to getting through the entire tournament without conceding a goal?
As long as we're carrying the trophy, I am never going to be bummed out. I can promise you that. The nerves. It's only a soccer game. It's only a soccer game, and you've got to make sure that you keep things in perspective too. There's so many other things that are more important, and so many other things in these guys' lives that will be more important. So, in the moment, yeah, you get a little bit nervous. It gets a little hairy. But when you trust and believe in the group and you love the group the way that I do, it's a player's game. You just got to leave it to them, and they delivered.
Coach, a lot of people think that true preseason starts in August, and it does, but you had a chance to go abroad with some members of this team. How do you think those days spent abroad really helped lay the path and the foundation for what we've just experienced?
Thanks, Matt. That is imperative in college athletics. Those events are the cartilage that binds a team together, because you're in a foreign land, right, with only your teammates, and everything is different, and there's change all the time, and that's what life is. So having the opportunity, and the other thing, our game is a world game. Right? So any place in the world, it's going to be really important, the game. And our players deserve to experience that. We're also an educational institution. And education and edification in different cultures is something that's part of the education. And I'm very thankful to CUTigers and our donors who made that happen, and Graham Neff, our athletic director, who allowed us to take the trip. There's a reason why there's a rule that you can only take one every 4 years, but you got to take advantage of it when you do, and we just have.
Coach, Eddie Radwanski was here tonight. Clemson's the only school in the country that had 2 teams in the men's and women's college cup. What does that say about Clemson as a soccer school?
You guys are baiting me in. God was going to talk now. We'll go to football school, right? Yeah, Eddie's support, his staff support, and their team support of our team is fantastic. It goes vice versa. I mean, our guys had phones out at meals, and usually we don't allow that, but when the girls were playing in the College Cup, the guys followed every minute of it. Eddie's been a friend for a really long time, and he and I, we've got a really, really good relationship with all the coaches at Clemson. We have a text chain of all the head coaches, and I know I've been blown up, and the guy, all the coaches at Clemson, I think that comes down to leadership too, right? The leadership that we have through Graham, but Dabo does a phenomenal job of being inclusive and letting us all know that what we do is important too. Brad Burnell having a great year this year, right? Same thing. Brad's the first one who will text me and wish me luck. There's a watch party tonight. So we're tight. We're tight. And Eddie being here tonight is special.
Coach Jimmy Martin, Bluegrass Soccercast. With the ACC set to expand next year, how does that change your approach for trying to win back-to-back with Stanford, Cal, and SMU coming
It doesn't. Right? No matter who it is, no matter where it is, Clemson's going to show up, and we're going to win. You know, whether it's Stanford, whether it's Cal, whether it's SMU, the thing that makes you the best is when you play against worthy rivals. Every year. Simon Sinek wrote a book on it, right? And it's, you have to have worthy rivals. I mean, people talk a lot of times, they like you know, another player on the opponent's skirt, right? Yeah, you might get a little bit of an advantage, but you know what? We want to beat everybody at full strength. And we don't care, you know, if we got to fly across the country to do it, right? So that's the attitude that we have, and we know they're going to be really, really, really good. And the league is just going to be phenomenal next year. So, yeah, it'll be more fun, I guess.
Coach, you mentioned that KPI board earlier. You talked about it after the Charlotte game where you guys hadn't had a shutout in a while, and that was the one that you told your team, we need to go get a shutout tonight. You kept a shutout for, I think, 448 minutes of this tournament. How were you able to do that, and what changed from those few games leading up to the tournament?
I didn't do anything. Right? The players did. And you know, we talked a lot about our organization. We talked a lot about our preparation, and that's my staff. Preparing players to, and, you know, we do talk about, you know, again, another coaching cliche, defense wins championships. Right? We're a fantastic offensive team all year, and we have tools. But we talk a lot about, you know, fellas, you got to tighten the screw now. We're in the ACC tournament, right? We can't give away loose goals. It'll be done. You've got to defend restarts better. That's what we've done, right?